Oh, bro, I knocked him. Oh, shit. Dude, I knocked him. How far is this?
Enemies have been here.
90 meters, bro. 100 meters almost. And I two-tapped him. -1. He's on me, bro. Dropped him. Thirsted him. One left. Or was that it?
There's another cam now.
One more. Yeah, he's behind us already. 350. There he is. In the doorway.
Going through back.
Nice flank. Kobe. He's gone. He's behind. Oh, by the storage bin in the back. Blue storage bin. Did he leave? No. Bot? Oh, he's right here. Oh, close one. Lachmann saved me on that.
Are you down? I got you, Snow. I got you. We annihilated that guy.
Alright, I killed him. Oh!
Did you find a figurine?
Oh my god! This guy had an ultra on him, bro.
Welcome back to the channel. Santos here, and today I am going to be revealing to you how to unlock ultra damage multipliers. Unless you have been camping under a rock, you have already seen them, been shredded by them, or have been trying to grind for them. And these are the ultra mag attachments for the Asval, for the Lachmann, and of course we also have the thermal scope from for the Type 19. So there's a new meta that has come in with season 2, and there's a way to unlock these magazines. I'm going to show you the fastest way, the straightforward way, what's worth grinding if you're having to, budget for how much. If you have a limited amount you can spend, which one is worth grinding for first, depending on your play style. I'm going to be making some recommendations here for you. And I'm also going to be discussing how to defend against this new meta, because there are definitely some leaderboard players like myself, guilty, who are abusing these FMJ mags, 15-round mags, these ultra attachments, these ultra damage multipliers, and it beats the RAM, it beats the SO14, it beats everything out there that was season 1 meta. And so we have a completely new meta now, leaderboard players that are abusing it, and you have to know how to defend yourself, how to participate, how to get in on this meta, why it's worth it. I'm going to show you the damage stats for these magazines, and I'm going to share with you tips and tricks about what I've learned using these weapons, about how to defend against them, how to use them, how to abuse them, and how to dominate the game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it.
For those of you that don't know me, my name is Santos, and I'm a lifelong gamer with a wife, a dog, a career, and a passion for shooters. I've been playing Call of Duty Mobile for a few years now, and when DMZ mode came out, I jumped at both feet in, reaching the top 500 leaderboard within the first few days and unlocking Quiji in about 30 hours of gameplay and 100 crates. Now I release tips and tricks videos sharing with you my best strategies on how to dominate the game. So in summary, if you are not using the Asval and the Lachmann, you're at a huge disadvantage. This is now the equivalent of the Ram 7 and the SO14 for season 1, except the Lachmann will beat both the Ram 7 and the SO14. It beats the time to kill of both. Let me say that again. The Lachmann with the Ultra Mag, the barrel unlocked, will beat a Ram 7 and an SO14 time to kill up to 20 meters, okay? Meaning that if you're using a Lachmann, you can shred an SO14, you can shred a Ram 7 up to 20 meters, no problem, even if the Ram 7 has a 0.2 damage multiplier to the torso. The Lachmann will still beat that godly RAM. All right, so for those of you like myself who spent a ton of money grinding for the torso 0.2 damage multiplier on the Ram 7, well, bad news. The Lachmann has now surpassed the Ram, and it has even surpassed the SO14 when the SO14 has a 0.2 torso damage multiplier as well. But to beat the SO14, the Lachmann does need to have a 0.2 damage torso multiplier to the chest as well. And if the Lachmann has that fix, then it will beat the SO14 up to 20 meters. So crazy stats. Now for the Asval, a lot of you have asked me about its damage, and I can confirm now that the Asval is 3-tapping mythic 3-plate eagle wing armor up out to 40 meters, at which point it then becomes a 4-tap to the chest. So as you can see in some of the clips, one of the clips I shared earlier, I have been able to 2-tap at 100 meters on epic armor. It is crazy how fast the Asval knocks. Now it is semi-auto, so for this reason I would advise, if you can only grind one, go for the Lachmann. But both honestly are insane, and the best part is you don't even need damage affixes on either weapon for them to be godly. I repeat that, you don't need to grind affixes on either of those weapons. You just need to get the magazine and the barrel, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and jump in to how you actually unlock these weapons. Hey, just taking a moment to invite you to the Legend Discord community if you are someone who is looking for teammates to play with, people who are able to use their mic, who are legendary ranked, who are leaderboard players. We have a dedicated space for you if you are that kind of player. If you're more of a casual player and you need to do missions and you're still hunting Kuiji, there's also a dedicated space for you as well. Currently we actually have some volunteers who are willing to help with the missions, whether you're doing the $10 million mission or the radiated treasure or any other mission and you want some help with it. We have some volunteers that have signed up for it, and we have mercenaries too who are willing to get paid through key cards or CP or cash, mainly key cards. Honestly, sometimes players will kind of set up their own payment, but generally it's for key cards, so that you can do missions and get help from others in the community, whether that's for free or whether that's with a mercenary. And so if you are someone who likes DMZ and you want to come in here and check out the community, I post some of my research very early on. I post my spreadsheets, my damage stats in here before I even make the videos, so you get early access to all of the information that I'm putting in my videos, and also kind of get in touch and in tune with the latest and the bleeding edge of the most powerful weapons in DMZ as well. So yeah, I'd love to see you on the inside, and enjoy the rest of the video. So the reality and the truth of the matter is that to unlock these weapons, you're going to need to have $500 million, roughly speaking. Okay, I was fortunate, I was lucky, and I was able to pull it in about 300 mil. But I have clanmates, I have community members that are at 500 mil and still have not unlocked even one of these weapons. The Lachmann appears to be harder to unlock than the Asval. And so the TLDR of how to unlock these weapons is you're going to have to grind money. You have to put in the playtime, you have to get the win rate, and you must stack your cash to be able to do this. And like I mentioned earlier, if you can only afford one, I would definitely advise going after the Lachmann, because most of you will not get a mag buff, an ammo buff, or a mag capacity affix, meaning you're only going to get 15 rounds in your Lachmann. And if you only have 15 rounds in your Lachmann, then you're better off pairing it with your godly ram and maybe leading with your new Lachmann with ultra mag, and learning how to weapon switch in the middle of a fight, slide switch, so that you can get the ram out and finish the kill in case you run out of ammo. So number one thing is you've got to have the cash. I would strongly advise against even attempting this weapon if you have less than 150 or 200 mil. You might get lucky and get it, or you might just be heartbroken after gambling for 200 mil not getting it. So that was my recommendation. To actually unlock this, you're going to have to go through a bit of a kind of gambling period. You're gonna have to gamble a lot. Basically, you're going to have to spend a lot of money buying and selling weapons so that you meet the requirements that the game is asking you for. So what are those requirements? So to unlock these ultra attachments, specifically for the Lachmann and the Asval, what you have to do is you have to buy and sell mythic Lachmanns, mythic Asvals until you meet the following requirements. For the Lachmann, you have to get the Lock 12 barrel unlocked, and you have to have all 9 attachments available and filled with legendary attachments. Meaning you're going to have to grind every single attachment, the foregrip, the stock, the magazine, everything, the muzzle, so that you get at least a legendary attachment unlocked or higher. And that means, doing all the mini missions, like going out and killing a few people and repairing the weapon and exfilling with it and just using it in general, buying and selling legendaries, whatever it asks you to do. You have to do that for every single attachment. And this goes both for the Lachmann and the Asval. And when you do that, then you're going to be able to submit the weapon to the game and basically burn it. It's like a sacrificial lamb. You don't get it back. You're going to have to do for the Lachmann, the Lock 12 barrel, 9 attachments, mythic weapon rarity, and 2 affixes, and you only have to submit one of these, which apparently is significantly harder than the Asval. It was harder for me. It cost me about twice as much to do the Lachmann, about 200 mil versus 100 mil that it cost me for the Asval, even though I have heard reports from my community that the Lachmann is costing them 300, 400, 500 mil, even 700 mil. So that's the biggest thing to consider here, that it can get expensive. It is based on chance, and you might or might not get lucky with this, right? But it's definitely worth grinding. As you have seen, you're seeing the clips that I'm showing you. It's absolutely godly and beats everything else in the game at the moment. Then for the Asval, what you see is that you have to do something very similar, except instead of single weapon, you have to submit 3 weapons. Ironically, or maybe unexpectedly, it is easier. Why? Because those 3 weapons only have to have 8 attachments, not all 9. You can have just 8 attachments on it. You must have the large extended mag B plus 7 legendary attachments, 2 affixes, mythic weapon rarity. So if you can meet this criteria and submit 3 of these Asvals, then you'll be able to unlock the Asval Ultra Mag. And when you do that, well, game over, baby. You've got the ultra damage multipliers in your hands, and then you got to go play and make all your money back, right? Because you have the advantage now, and you're able to play the new meta that we have right now. So that's how you unlock these. Basically, it comes down to money and grinding, and that's really all there is to it. Well, there's a large piece of it that is luck as well. So you just got to keep playing the game. My advice to you is do not go completely broke. Never drop below 50 million. Never drop to the point where you have to do normal matches, because if you do, you're going to be in hell for a while. Getting $1 million or $2 million per round is just super slow. Instead, keep yourself in hard mode. Always have over 50, over 100 mil, and stack above that to be able to get these weapons. And if you just simply cannot get there, you do not have the money, and maybe you're lacking the skill to stack that much money, then you're gonna have to forget about these ultra weapons, and you're gonna have to forget about owning one of these. But you're going to have to learn how to defend against these weapons, because more and more players are starting to use them. Leaderboard players have been using them since the new season dropped. Like myself, we've been aware and we had the money to grind for them, but I'm noticing more and more players are either trying for them or getting it. And you need to know how to defend yourself against these weapons. So I'll go ahead and jump into that right now. So the number one weakness of these Ultra Mag weapons is that they have only 15 rounds in the magazine, and that weakness is the Achilles heel. That means that if you are someone who is grinding for these weapons and you're getting weapons and you're thinking like the Ram 7 days, season 1 days, oh, I gotta get a damage affix, I should get point 2 to the torso, or I should get vital strike, or I should get FMJ or arrow bullet. You're wrong. What you need here more than anything is an ammo buff or a mag capacity affix, something that's going to increase your mag capacity so you don't run out of ammo when you're in the fight. And on the other side, if you're someone who can't grind this weapon or doesn't have these weapons yet, cannot get the ultra attachments unlocked, haven't done it yet, then you need to understand what the weakness of these weapons is so you can fight them in battle. A Ram can still absolutely beat an ultra Lachmann or an ultra Asval. It's just not going to beat it head to head, okay? Not going to beat it in a fair 50-50 just both staring at each other down the barrel, shooting at each other fight. That's just not going to happen. And so what you need to do is exploit, abuse, take advantage of the fact that that magazine only has 15 shots. And how do you do that? Well, you have to learn how to wait for the enemy's magazine to run out. This is a common and very important fundamental, maybe not common, it's a fundamental PvP strategy. Okay, it is a PvP fundamental. This is something that you must do whenever you're in a battle. You must learn to recognize the sound of the guns. How does an Asval sound? How does a Lachmann sound? And if you do not memorize what this weapon sounds like, you're in for a rude awakening. You have to learn to recognize the sound of these weapons. Second, once you've recognized that you are going up against a Lachmann or an Asval, you have to let them take the first shot. You have to let them run out of ammo and then take your shot, meaning you need to learn how to slide peek and slide dodge. You slide out to face the enemy, you know it has an ultra mag, and you immediately slide away. You are not trying to shoot them, you are trying to bait their shot. Once they shoot at you and you hear them shoot literally 15 bullets, so it's not even that much time, you can jump right back out and shoot back at them while they're reloading. Like, this is the best way to combat an ultra mag. And honestly, if you learn how to do this, you'll be able to take on gunfights even when they're quote unquote fair, right? Like the enemy has the same kind of weapon that you do. You'll be able to take them on in a much more successful way. You'll have more success in gunfights because this is just a strong PvP fundamental. You have to know what gun the enemy is shooting, and you have to know how deep they are into a mag. If they're shooting an LMG, of course you're gonna have to wait a long time. If they're shooting a RAM, man, you got 50 rounds in it. If they're shooting something else, well, you got to recognize it and, you know, wait for the mag to run out. I know it's tough to do this in battle, but this is what separates the survivors, you know, from the crates on the ground 6 feet under, right? So this is how you can combat it, right? You can increase your PvP skills, recognize the weapon, learn to slide peek and jump out of the way, wait for the mag to drain, and then engage. So very hit and run style tactic, very guerrilla, very in and out, very squirrely type of gunfights is what it's going to take down these ultra mag players. And so, you know, I'm telling you how to do it. Now it's up to you to go in and practice and master the movement and the technique yourself. Okay, so good luck out there. You guys can do this if you put in the time and the energy. Now let me go in for the super nerds and explain to you what all the damage stats are looking like for this for the Asval. Okay, since I've already gone in detail about the Lachmann damage stats in my previous video, I'm only gonna kind of briefly flash them here. So if you want to take a screenshot and look them over on your own time, you can, or just go watch my full video where I review the Lachmann damage stats in detail. For the Asval, the damage stats are looking pretty insane and very, very simple to understand. If you look at the entire damage sheet, which I will link in the video, or you can access it in my Discord. The damage sheet is very simple for the Asval. It kills with 3 shots to the chest against mythic 3-plate eagle wing armor, and it does that all the way up to 40 meters. Very simple, just 3 tap, 3 tap, 3 tap, 5 meters, 3 tap, 20 meters, 3 tap, 30 meters, 3 tap. That's it. It just 3 taps like a beast, and you don't even have to have the barrel. You just have to have the magazine. The magazine is a 3 tap. The magazine and the barrel is a 3 tap. The magazine, the barrel, and a 0.2 damage multiplier to the chest is a 3 tap. I've unlocked these. I've already measured them, and you don't need to have a damage affix. It doesn't make a difference. So honestly, all you need to do for the Asval is unlock the magazine, and you are good to go. If you can get an ammo buff or a mag capacity affix, well, more power to you. Now you're gonna have some extra ammo to fight this out, but other than that, you are golden. Just unlock the magazine and rock and roll. You've got a 3 tap all the way up to 40 meters, crushes the SO14, crushes the RAM, everything. The only thing that's gonna hit harder is an HDR, right? So that, there you have it. Those are the damage stats. You can take a look at the entire data sheet here. I'll put it in the description, and it's also available in the Discord for those of you who want to geek out and really look deeply into the numbers. Okay,
Well, what did you think? In summary, we have the Lachmann with the 15-round mag as what I believe to be the most powerful weapon in the game at the moment. Based on the damage stats, it hits harder than the SO14 with the 0.2 damage multiplier, and it matches the SO14 even without that affix. So if you just get the barrel and the magazine, you are going to be hitting almost as hard as the SO14, up to 40 meters. It's crazy how powerful this weapon is. And then you also have the Asval. Asval is hitting harder than the SO14. It's 2-shotting at 100 meters. It's 3-shotting. Mythic armor up to 40 meters. I mean, it's insane how powerful this weapon is. It is slow. It is semi-auto. It is a little bit technical to use. So if you only have the funds to grind for one, I would recommend grinding for the Lachmann and pairing it with your Ram from Season 1 meta, because you do have a Ram, right? Okay, you better. So you can pair that Ram with the Lachmann and just use it. Boom, 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 drain your 15-round mag, do a lot of damage, maybe knock the opponent. Definitely use it in 1v1 situations. If you're outnumbered, bring out your Ram. If you're in 1v1, bring on your Lachmann. Okay, if you're mid-range, hit the Lachmann. Right, so this is about learning how to use a specialized loadout, having 2 weapons, when to switch, when not to switch. If you can master that piece, you're gonna be able to make full use of the Lachmann and its power, even though it might only have 15 rounds. And if you can get an ammo buff or a mag capacity affix, whoo, you are gonna be shredding with that thing. It's gonna be amazing. So if you are, not able to get either of these weapons, or you're still grinding for them and you really have to play defense until you can get your money up so you can get these weapons, then defense is best played by avoiding these guns at all costs. I mean, if you hear them, I definitely recommend you duck out of there. There's no facing those things one-on-one. I would suggest you go in 3v1, 2v1, outnumbering them completely and pacing them. Wait for them to run out of ammo and reload, because if you're not already doing this in your gameplay, you should be listening to the enemy shooting their magazine. You should be able to recognize what gun they are shooting and know how many rounds that gun has. If someone is shooting a Ram, I know there are 50 rounds in that thing, so I'm going to wait until they drain that magazine and begin their reload before I push in. That is just standard PvP, something that you should already be doing when you're doing your PvP. So when you're fighting Ultra Mag players, make sure that you're listening for that initial 10, 15 shots, then push in for a kill, and that's going to be your best defense, waiting for the mag to drain and outnumbering them. I mean, basic PvP here, but much heightened reflexes are needed here, because they will kill very, very fast. So be very careful, and happy grinding, good luck grinding, getting in there, and I'll see you next time. Peace.